All right, good evening, Stronghold-Corp followers. I'm going to do a video tonight talking about tactical 2-point and 3-point slings. Hope you guys can all hear me all right. I'm trying out a little bit of new technology to try to make the video quality better. I've got a Bluetooth microphone, so I should be set up for that. So hopefully you guys can hear me better. I don't have to be as close to the camera, and I can show you a few things. So real quickly, I'm going to start doing some more series on equipment and things like that so that people understand the differences in hardware. So first things first, I want to talk about a 2-point sling. 2-point sling indicates it's hooked in two different spots, right? I'm not going to talk about single point slings. I have some opinions about single point slings. I have no purpose for a single point sling, so I'm not going to really waste any more time on single point slings. So 2-point sling, this one on this rifle is a Spectre Gear 2-point sling. This is like my preferred sling right now. It's got a quick attachment in the front with a QD. Like that, goes on either side. So if you're lefty or righty, same thing, quick detachment in the back with the QD. So it's pretty slick on that too. And actually you can hook it on the other side and actually carry it closer to the body if you put it on that side. So QD pockets, in my mind, they're the way to go. This one actually has fast adjustment, right? And you can loosen it up and make it longer, right? That's handy if you're going to be switching to left hand or offhand. And it allows you to tighten it up fast too. So the reason for that is you want it tighter to the body. If you're going to grab something or work on something, you don't want it hanging down and dangling. If you got it lengthened out like that, your suppressor on the end, if you have the silencer on the end, is banging you in the knee. If you want to tighten it up, it brings it higher up for you. So it allows you to do work easier that way. So people have asked the difference between 2-point and 3-point sling, and I'll just demonstrate the difference. 2-point, there's no fabric against the gun here. The 2-point literally is front and back. The 3-point, on the other hand, has a whole layer of fabric on the back. I'll show you that here really quick. There's a whole other loop to the 3-point, right? So this is also a Spectre Gear sling. This is a 3-point, and as you can see, it's got a loop that goes from the front point to the back point. So that would be a traditional 3-point sling. Again, this is a Spectre Gear. This is again hooked with quick detaches. This is what's an ERB or an emergency release buckle. So if you're stuck in the rifle's caught on something, you're in the water, you got to drop it or dump it or get out of it. You break that out, it comes completely off of you. So that's what an ERB buckle is. So again, I'm going to go back to the 2-point sling. That's my preferred favorite right now. So the 2-point sling, I like it. It adjusts well. It's handy to use. It allows you to keep the body and the rifle close together. Spectre Gear sells these in both 1 1/4 inch fabric and 1 1/2 inch fabric. Some people may say, what's the difference? If you're going to carry a rifle for a long period of time and you're going to let it hang on your body, that extra 1/4 inch of strap makes a huge amount of difference. If you're going to have a smaller streamlined sling, just so like you grab your rifle to jump out of your patrol car, let's say, 1 1/4 is perfect, right? You're going to don it, you're going to put it on. The reason you have it on there is for weapons retention or for control, or if you have to let it down, transition to your next weapon, or you have to work on something like a door, a problem, an issue, a suspect. You're trying to work on something, put a tourniquet on somebody. That sling's there so you're not setting your rifle down. This allows you to control your weapon at all times. The sling is handy for that. Can't say enough about a well thought out sling. We've been using the Spectre Gear slings for a long period of time. If you come to any of our classes, you'll see a Spectre Gear sling on typically my guns, Josh's guns, sometimes on Chris's guns. The Spectre Gear slings, they hang up real well. They hold on. They're solid. The hardware holds together forever. And when I say forever, we used to have duty guns in service that were carried basically 24 hours a day, or they'd be on service, and they didn't break. The Spectre Gear slings hold up. We never really had any issues with them. So I can't say enough about the Spectre Gear slings, except I've been using them for 20 years. Prior to that, I was an Eagle sling believer before Eagle went out of business. But a good 2-point sling will help you control where your weapon is at all times. Allows you to cinch it down so you can do work with it. There's 2 ways to carry the 2-point sling in theory. The first is like I was just doing crossbody in the more tactical fashion. Some people prefer to carry it long periods of time this way, like you're patrolling through the woods, like old war movies would be, and then you can bring it up and go to work that way if you need to. Same thing with that, you can sling it out. You can also swim out of it, run it just around the neck if you need to. You swim out and you go this way. It allows you to go right hand to left hand transitions fast, so that way you can move it around if you swim out of it and you're not hung up in it. And you can also swim right back into it without an issue. So if you have questions on slings, Swings, all this stuff. If you're looking at hardware and you're like, I don't know what to buy, and you're like, I don't know what's going to hold up, we've got a ton of different slings. I've got a ton of different guns with a ton of different slings on them. I'll point you in the direction of the ones I've used. I'll tell you about the ones I've broke. I'll tell you about the ones that I don't really believe in, or just kind of get in the way. I've had people show up to classes with a single point, and then halfway through the class, I'd loan them a sling. It's real handy if you've got the QD points already on your rifle, because I can just take one of the slings off of one of our loaner guns, snap it onto your gun, and you can go from there. If your rifle doesn't have the QD pockets in both the stock and the front, if you got either a quad rail front or an M-lock rail and it doesn't have the QDs, you can actually put the adapter on it. Like this one specifically here, this QD pocket literally just goes into the M-lock spot right there on the side of that rail. So if you have an M-lock rail, you can literally just add the QD pocket to it anywhere you need to. On the stock, it's a little harder. If you have a fixed stock, like an A1 stock or an A2 stock, those slings, the pockets are in there. And what you'll see is you'll see a fabric loop that goes around that, and you won't QD the back. If you're running an A1 or A2 stock, there's other options for you also. If you're running a standard mil-spec sling, it's basically a strap, a carriage strap. It's not designed for any real tactical combat. Weirdly enough, I carried an M16 for a long period of time when I was in the military, and we had the standard slings. Anytime we went overseas, we tried to modify them to get them into a different carry configuration. All we could really use was parachute cord and rigger's tape, 90-mile-an-hour tape, or duct tape that's green for anybody that wasn't in. And so we'd modify our guns, and we'd be in trouble with the armor for doing it. But you usually didn't get in trouble until you got home. So we were always looking for something better. We never really had the option when I was in. There's a ton of options on the market now. It seems like every company sells a tactical sling, just like everybody will sell you an appendix carry holster. Some are good, some are bad. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Sometimes you can get things that are affordable that are going to hold up well. Sometimes you're paying a lot for a name or a brand behind it that really doesn't have the application that it needs to be done. So before you spend a lot of money on your gun, your fighting gun, your gunfighter gun, your carry gun, or even your duty gun, before you jump right in and say, hey, I want to try this, and next thing you know, you own 10 slings. They're all hanging on your closet door, and you're trying to figure out, because there's no resale market for used slings, feel free to ask us some questions. If you want to try the difference between a 2-point and a 3-point, I'll definitely hook you up. If you ask to try a 1-point, I don't have any. Because it's like an early global war on terror, hooks to the back, dangles around, your rifle swings everywhere, it hits you in every crevice of your body, and just gets in your way. So if you want to do a single point, that's great. If you want to come run one of my classes with a single point, about halfway through the class, I'm guessing you're going to want to try a 2-point or a 3-point. So if you got questions on slings, right, again, quality hardware doesn't have to be expensive, but quality hardware has to last. And at the times when you need it the most, you don't want it to break. So feel free to ask Stronghold any questions. We can order more Spectre Gear slings in. They don't show up in our e-store, but we are a sales rep for Spectre Gear. We sell a ton of Spectre Gear slings. We do have stock in the shop. In person, if you swing by there and talk to Josh, he should have some Spectre Gear slings on the shelf still from our order we just got a few months back. But if you have questions about slings or how to use a sling or how to set up a sling, and this is more from a tactical standpoint or a patrolling standpoint, this isn't like locking in and trying to use your sling to get really accurate long-range fire like they teach in the DCM or the CMP programs. That's not what these types of slings are for. But I will tell you, these quick adjust ones, you can lock in pretty good with a quick attach one. If you're going into that position and you're trying to lock it into your elbow, you can use that to adjust fast. So this quick adjuster, pretty slick. It allows you to cinch it up how you want to cinch it up. The adjustability, flexibility on the modern firearms are just amazing these days. So if you have questions on slings or other accessories on a rifle, hit Stronghold-Corp up. Let us know. Hit the info at strongholdcorp.com, and we'll try to hook you up. Thanks.